What's going on, guys? PXCam20 back again with a brand new video. We are here at Goodwood for the Nations Cup race taking place here, as we are in the SFR racing, and so is half of the field, or probably even more than half the field, are using the SFR racing, as that is the fastest car on this racetrack. So before we jump into the race here, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. If you guys haven't done so, if you guys really like the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. And also to the 700 of you that are already subscribed now, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the channel. I appreciate it a lot. So let's jump straight into this video. So coming into qualifying here, you see we're on our second flyer lap, and there's already action going on ahead of us. As you see, the red car goes out off into the grass. He tries to come back to the track, so we got to brake very, very hard. We make a little bit of contact as the red Porsche and the Toyota ahead of us actually go wide. And you see we lost a ton of momentum heading down the straightaway, as we only get a 130.8. So our second flyer was actually our fastest lap, as we tried to do another one, but we were unable to capitalize on anything there, as we're going to finish this qualifying session in 10th place. As you see, we are going to cross over the line with a 130.6. So our fastest lap again was our second one that got us a 129, but we're going to start in 10th jumping into this race. Now, when coming down to this race, the strategy was to just basically go all out, flat out. There was no, you didn't have to use the pits for tire wear or use the pits because of fuel consumption. So basically it was just an all-out attack race, and just try to finish as best as you can. So jumping up into the race here, you see the red, white, and blue coming from the planes, as we are able to start in 9th place, because I guess a car had lagged out or something happened to a car. So we get a position immediately. So we are up into 9th as we head down the finish line and heading into turn number 1. We are right behind the Toyota. As we go into turn number 1, lift a little bit out of the throttle. And this track is very, very difficult. So one thing you definitely don't want to do is touch that grass. As you see, what happens is you see the 7th place Porsche actually goes out wide. We're able to get another position as we head out of turn number 2. But yeah, the number 1 key is to just stay as smooth as you can, limit your mistakes, be aggressive, but just try to also stay away from the grass, because if you touch that grass, you're either going to be spinning or you're heading off into the hills and doing a couple of jumps. So coming towards the end of lap number 1, we're heading towards the final part, heading into the chicane, and we're catching up to 7th. So we got a really good run coming out of this final couple corners. As you see it right to the right of us, the orange Toyota actually makes contact with the wall, so that gains us another position. So starting from 9th, we are up to 7th at the end of lap number 1, as we fast forward here heading into turn number 2. And you see we're still right behind the Toyota of 6th place as we're trying to reach him. And right here, we actually were just really, really good heading into these couple corners. As you can see right here, the Toyota brakes right ahead of us. And look how much time we gain on him, as we are almost right behind him as we come out of this left corner here. We're trying to make a move on the outside as we head into the right-hander. Brake as late as we can. We actually make a little bit of contact there as we come into the right-hander. We let 6th place go, and now it's going to be a catch-up game to make up the time that we lost from the contact, as we're going to try to catch up to the 6th place car again. So coming up into lap number 3, we're gaining on him again on the exact same spot that we gained on him on the lap prior. And you can see right there, look how much time we gain on him, as we're almost right to his back bumper again. We're going to try to make a move on the outside again, so we take a little look, but he actually gets a good exit as we're trying to make a move on the inside, try to make a move on the outside. He covers the inside, and he is able to cover the position as we come out of the turn now, heading down this long straightaway that's going to lead us into the final few corners. So coming down to the long straightaway, we're still right behind 6th place, and we actually make an adjustment that I don't know if you guys noticed, but we move the brakes from 2 to the front to 1 to the front. So I wanted to see if I get a little bit more bite when hitting the corners, as we make a little bit of contact with 6th, since we actually got a lot of speed coming out of that final corner there. And it helped out a lot once I moved the brake bias a little down to the rear. So let's see how much it can help us out as we are now on lap number 5 here, coming to the final few corners. We're right behind 6th place again. We brake very, very late. As you can see, we gain a ton of time on 5th, but look ahead of us as 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 5th are fighting for position there. As you can see, we're still right behind 6th, and we're trying to just catch up to this gaggle of cars right ahead of us to see if we could try to at least fight for a podium. As you see, 3rd is starting to run away with it a little bit, and coming past the penalty zone now, you see that we are still trying to catch up to them, as 5th place tries to make a move on 4th, and he is able to do so. So the gray Porsche gets around the white Porsche. They're beating and banging right there as they come into the corner, and the white Porsche actually hits the grass, goes very, very loose, almost clips us, and the gray Porsche gets very, very wide heading into that corner. We are able to make the overtake there, so we gain 2 overtakes in the span of 2 corners, and we're able to now move up all the way into 4th place, as I believe 2nd place actually disconnected. So everyone got bumped up a place, so now we are up in 4th place after being in 6th or 7th a lap prior. So heading into lap number 7 now, we are now right behind 2nd and 3rd, so 2nd's in our sight. So we got to try to catch up to them as they're fighting with each other heading into the final few corners. You see they're going side by side as they head into the final few corners, but the 3rd place car actually backs out of the move, so that invites us to try to catch up to them as we try to brake as late as we can coming into the final few corners. That's going to lead us into the chicane. We get a ton of time as we brake very early, try to get a good exit. We do, but we actually make contact with 3rd place, so that actually helps him out. As we fast forward here now, jumping into lap number 8, coming to the first few corners, we are trying to gain on them again as we head into the part of the track that we're actually really, really good at. You see we're gaining a ton of time as we head into this left-hander here. Brake very, very late as we're catching up to 3rd and 2nd. 2nd actually gets a really bad exit, so 3rd place is going to try to capitalize on that. As he tries to go into the inside here, coming into that corner, he backs out of the move as they almost make contact, but 2nd actually gets a really bad exit. He's trying to cover the inside as 3rd place is able to make the position now. He goes into the inside, makes the overtake, and that invites us into the battle here as we're trying to make a move on the outside before we hit the final few corners. Making a move on the outside, we're starting to get pushed out to the grass. We make contact with the grass and with the car to the left, and we're trying to keep it onto the inside as we're heading towards the final few corners. Brake as late as we can as 3rd place, or the old 3rd place, actually backs out of it, so we're able to make the move there. And you can see we're in the group of pack of the cars here as we're heading into the final chicane. Coming out of the final chicane, we're trying to get a good exit. As you see, 2nd place gets a good exit too, but we're actually getting pressured by 4th. So we move it to the inside here, but 4th backs out of the move a little bit. So we defend our position as we head down the straightaway leading into turn 1 and 2. So coming into turn number 1 and 2, we're right behind the 2nd place car. As you can see, he gets a really wide exit. That kind of hurts the speed there as we're actually catching up to him on the straightaway and pulling away from 4th place. So that's going to get us closer and closer to 2nd as we're heading to the part of the track that we're really good on. So catch up to him. We give him a little bit of a bump drive because I didn't want to battle with him heading into these corners. That's just going to be a recipe for disaster. As you can see, the 2 cars behind us are actually battling with each other, and 1 car actually goes out wide. I don't know what happened to him, but we're now still behind 2nd place as he gets a really good exit on that corner. And we're going to try to just stay with him as we can probably get it on the slipstream heading into the next corner and or the next straightaway here. And we could probably try to make a move on the inside or the outside as we head into the final few corners. So coming down to the straightaway here, we're on his back bumper as we're actually gaining time on him as we head into the slipstream. And you see he puts his right blinker on as he's signaling to me that he's going to stay on the left-hand side. So we make a move on the inside. We're going to try to brake as late as we can coming into these final few corners. Brake right before the 50-meter board. We actually go ahead of him before the corner as he lets us get the position, and we cover the inside as we come out of that final few corners. We actually clip the grass coming out, and we're going to hit the chicane, try to keep it as clean as we can, and we get a good entrance and exit out of that corner. As you can see, 3rd place actually gets very, very wide coming out of the corner, and he loses 3rd place. So jumping into lap number 10, we're starting to get pressured from 3rd place, and he's catching up to us really, really fast. As you can see, he's trying to make a move on the outside as we head into the final few corners. Brake right after the 50-meter board. Try to keep it on the inside here. We do, as we kind of run a little bit wide though coming out of the corner, but we're going to try to keep it into the chicane as it's a single file turn. So going double wide on there, it's going to lead to disaster as we were able to hold our position coming out lap number 10. So that's another lap where we haven't made a mistake and we're able to hold the position. So coming into lap number 11, the end of lap number 11, you see 3rd place actually gets really, really loose coming into the final few corners. And we brake very, very late as we get distracted. We go out to the grass and we lose a ton of time as we come back onto the track. And 2nd place is able to make an overtake on us, and 3rd place too. So now we're demoted all the way back to 4th place as we fast forward here heading to the first few corners. And so now we have to catch right back up to them as we're getting pressure from 5th and try to see if we can make an overtake on them before the end of the race. So now on lap number 12 here, we're heading towards this left-hander here. We're trying to catch up to them, and we actually are doing so. As you can see, 2nd and 3rd are trying to block on the inside. Well, 3rd is trying to block on the inside as we head into this right-hander. That's going to give him a bad exit as we're trying to catch up to him now. And we stay in the slipstream there, but we're unable to get a really good exit. We're actually getting bumped out now by 5th place. He makes a good move onto the inside, pushes us out, and we're going to be into a drag race here as we head into the final few corners. Staying on the outside here as we head into the final few corners. You see second and third are actually trying to fight a little bit. As you see third trying to make a move on the inside. We back out of the move here, or actually we don't back out of the move. We go side by side heading to the final few corners, but we back out here now and allow fourth place to go ahead, or the great Toyota to get ahead of us. We stay right behind him as we try to get a good exit here. And you can see second holds up third, and that just causes a chain effect as we're now right behind fourth place, and we get a really good run coming out. We're keeping it on the inside. We move it out to the outside as we come into turn number 1 and 2. We back out of the move a little bit, but make a little bit of contact with the gray car. But the gray car just decides to send it in there, gets it on the white and red car as we also put our nose down there too as he tried to cut us off. We got a really good run coming out of turn number 2, so it's going to be a drag race down heading into these final, not the final few corners, but the middle section of the track. As we're on the inside here, is fourth place or fifth place going to let us go through? Yes, he does. So now we go single file into these next 2 corners. As you can see, second and third are still fighting with each other. The gray car loses a ton of time and makes contact with seconds. We're going to try and make a move on the outside that's going to turn into the inside, heading into this right-hander. We put our nose in there and we try to brake as late as we can. Coming into this right-hander, we're going 5 cars wide into this right-hander. We make a little bit of contact with the gray car, and we're able to make up the position as we get a bump draft from fourth place. And now we got to try to make our move on second place as we're catching up to him on the straightaway, right behind him on the slipstream. So are we going to be able to make a move here heading into the final few corners as we're gaining a ton of time on him before we hit this final few corners? He clips the grass there as we come right here. Brake right before the 50-meter board into these 2 right-handers. We try to get a good exit off, and we're still right behind him as we come out of this corner. He gets a little bit loose coming into this chicane. Brakes as early as we can as we try to get a good exit. We actually do. Second place goes into the grass, and we're going to make a move on the outside, heading down the straightaway, going to past the start-finish line into lap 14, and we're able to make the overtake off a great exit coming out of that chicane. And we're going to try to hold it here in second as first place has just ran away with the lead. As you can see, he is 12 seconds away from us as we have just been battling the entire time. But yeah, we're able to hold the position now as we come into lap number 15, coming towards the end of the lap now. We're in lap number 15, the final lap as we head into the first few corners. Now we just have to keep it as clean as we can. As you see, third place is still about 0.6 seconds behind us. So we're going to try to keep it as clean as we can. But this is the battle that's happening right behind us for third place. You can see the red car tries to make a move on the inside here, baiting and banging as they head into the right corner right here. And he's able to make the position up. So now he's in third place. He's gaining a ton of time on us. As you can see, he's 0.7 seconds behind us, but he's still gaining time on us as they were battling behind. But now it's put down from 0.7 seconds to 0.6 seconds. So we're just trying to keep it on the track, not make any mistakes, hit our braking points as we brake right before the right-hander here. And you can see he's now down to 0.4 seconds, so he is catching up. And you can see actually on the right-hand side of the mini-map, he is now in our mini-map. So it's going to be very, very close as we look behind us to see if he's going to try to make a move on us as he's in our slipstream now. So coming into the final few corners, we're going to try to cover the inside. As you see, he's gaining a ton of time on us down the straightaway. Coming into the final few corners, we're going to keep it onto the inside as we head to the 2 right-handers. He goes into the inside, pushes us out wide. We get a ton of speed coming out of the corner. We actually get pushed out to the grass as we're trying to go now to this chicane. We actually didn't notice fourth place was trying to make an overtake on us too. We get taken out right there as we get pushed out wide again. But luckily fifth place pushed us into the straightaway, and we were able to maintain fourth place. So from second to fourth in a span of 2 seconds. Let's see what happened with the red car. You can see we're heading to the 2 right-handers, and he just forces his way in there, just pushes me out of the way. I don't know if that was a dirty move or if that was just hard racing. I don't know if it was a 50-50 move. If we see from fourth place, you see the red car just dives it in there into the 2 right-handers. So I don't know if I could have gave him more space or what. As you can see, we both go into the chicane. That right there was my fault. I really didn't realize that fourth place was trying to make an overtake there. But yeah, going back to that second place pass, I don't know if that was a dirty move or if he could have gave me a lot more space or if I could have given him more space or just a racing deal. I mean, if you guys comment down below what you guys thought about that move. I think it was a very, very aggressive move, and I think he could have at least waited till we got out of the chicane or, just stayed in third place. But that's just me. I mean, I'm always going to say that that was an aggressive move, especially because I lost second place. But Tell me what you guys think. Leave it on the comments down below. And if you guys really enjoyed that video, again, subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on the video as it really helps that channel when you guys do so. And let's try to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'll hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.